back to Inner Peace, Better Health, the podcast where clarity meets action and transformation becomes tangible. Today's guest is Larry Easto, a seasoned professional with over 40 years of experience spanning law, consulting, coaching, and authorship. Larry's passion? Helping people bridge the gap between their current reality and their desired future. Not by handing over answers, but by empowering them with the tools and strategies to create their own. He is the author of How to Succeed in Your Professional Service Business, creator of your Transformation Connection video course, and a guide for anyone ready to embrace new beginnings and opportunities. Welcome to the show, Larry. It's an honor to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Mhm. So, Larry, with such a diverse career, what inspired you to focus your work on transformation and helping others move from where they are to where they want to be?
Well, that's a good question. Oh, excuse me. Um, when I look back at my life, I've had a lot of amazing experiences. I've done a lot of, I've achieved results that I'm really proud of. I've had a good life. It's not over, but it's been a good life. But there's been a lot of downsides. There's been a lot of crises. There's been a lot of things that eh, probably could have been done better. So I'm thinking, well, why not take a look back at what I've done and share some of the lessons I've learned along the way, some of the things that worked out well that I can do more of and get better at, and some of the things that didn't work out so well that I can do better next time around. And part of me has always enjoyed helping other people make a difference in their lives. So my thinking is that by drawing on my experience, I can help other people make a difference in their lives. Good experiences get even better when they're shared. So that's basically what it's all about.
That's amazing. So, was there a personal turning point that shaped this mission?
It's been more of an evolution than a turning point. I've made a lot of default decisions in my life, and in some respects they were default decisions, but in other respects it was think of sharpening a pencil. You continue to sharpen a pencil to get to a finer and finer point. And as I think a major turning point was when I did my first book. And it was how to succeed in your home business. And it was basically business techniques and business strategies for people that didn't have a business background. And from there, I thought, well, there's more to running a business than the hard skills of business. Those kinds of things you learn in business school. There's all the personal kinds of things that go into it. So following the publication of my first book, I started to get more involved with personal growth, personal development, motivation, all of those kinds of areas of interest, and it really evolved. And I think probably about 3 years ago, we moved from the suburbs of Toronto to close to downtown, and it was a life changing kind of experience. I moved from the sameness of the suburbs to downtown area, and within a month of moving down here, I found the spiritual home I think I'd spent my entire life looking for. This is a church around the corner that has proved to be just an amazing experience, and that has just set my productivity through the roof. So it was an evolutionary kind of a thing, and I think moving from the suburbs to downtown is really what kickstarted the attention on going deeper and sharing more. If that makes sense. Did I just ramble on too much there?
No, no, not at all. And it's so powerful to hear how your journey mirrors the transformation you help others achieve.
Well, yeah, it's and there again, it's not a sudden breakthrough. When I look back, I realized that my first summer job, as it were, was as a camp counselor, and so I was spending a lot of time helping younger kids with swimming or with outdoor skills or with whatever was around. So it started as a teenager and just kind of continued to evolve, regardless of what crazy course I may have been on at any given time. There was still that underlying desire, underlying need, underlying drive to help others help others learn how to live a better life. And so it's always been there. I guess I just got better and more focused at it and wasted less time as I moved through the process.
Absolutely. So, you have created a video course called Your Transformation Connection. What's the core philosophy behind it, and how is it different from traditional self help approaches?
Well, that's an interesting question. What it is, it's a combination of it's a combination of my own experience as well as training and experiential learning. So what I've done with it is gone through the process of talking about managing change on through the 12th lesson is continuous improvement. And it's not so much it's probably a self-help or self-guided tour is probably what it is. It asks the question that nobody asked me, that had I been asked them, in my teenage years and young adult years, life might have been a little bit different. But I've set it up so that there's like a 5 minute video course, and that's followed by exercises that people work on their own at their own time frame. And the point of that is to help them focus on their own experiences. So I try to set up the process that, okay, here is your experience. What does that mean to you? What did you think about it? What conclusions can you draw from it? And how can you apply those conclusions to your business or your work life? So it's almost a crash course in experiential learning using the participant's own life experience as the resource to build from. So instead of my saying do this, do this, do this, it's a case of saying, what did you do? What can we learn from it? And how can you apply it? So I'm trying basically turning the mirror around and say, here's a good mirror for you. Let's see how it works to help you get to where you want to be from where you are.
Absolutely. So, can you share a simple practice for the from the course that our listeners could try today?
Okay. I think that probably the easiest one, and this is really close to my heart, is the exercise, is the awareness of letting go and moving on. So often we want to move on to something new, or we want to try something new, but we hang on to what's been in the past. We hang on to past memories. Hang on to past grievances. Hang on to past issues or problems or whatever. So we have to learn to let go. Way back when I was exposed to Christian spirituality, we did an exercise. It was really quite interesting. Um, it was all about creating something, and whatever somebody's comfortable with, create. So it could be, as a writer, I would create a piece of writing, or maybe potters, people who are good with their hands would create some pottery, or somebody would sew something or draw something or whatever. So spend, a short period of time creating something. When you're finished with it, spend some time celebrating. Say, wow, yeah, I really did a good job. This is really nice. I really like it. And then, within 5, 10 minutes, whatever, get rid of it, throw it away, put it in the garbage, break it up, get rid of it, let it go. So that's letting go and moving on. Yes, we've let go of what we just created, but that's freed up the space to create something new. So what in my case, if I've written something and I erase it from my computer, I've let it go, but I can move on, and I can use the experience of creating that one piece to create another one, maybe better. Or if you're doing pottery, maybe it didn't work out too well, but you learned how to do it. So let's make the next one better. So it's a fairly easy kind of step to do. Another thing that can be done, and this is fairly common with a lot of people who are moving. We moved from a big house to a small apartment, so we did a lot of letting go. So take a family possession, something like that, maybe with grandma's or grandpa's, or maybe with grandma's teacup or something, and give it away. Give it to a thrift shop, or give it to somebody who doesn't have a teacup. That hurts, but you still have the memory of grandma. You still have the good things from grandma. You don't have the physical things, so you can move on. And there's when you get rid of something, when you let go of something, you create room for more. You create room for more experience. It's like finishing off a glass of water to have a fresh glass of water. So it's all about letting go and moving on. And once we get used to letting go and moving letting go isn't as hard. It's something, oh yeah, okay, I know I'll get rid of this, but I can find another one. Or I know I got rid of that, but I can build another one. And I think that's one of the things that I learned as a result of my writing is that whenever I finish something, I'm all pumped to start the next thing. And so that's the letting go and moving on. It's the energy of letting go that frees up the connection, frees up the space, frees up the ability to move on and do something new, something good. And
Yeah.
just on that point, on my website, there's a book called New Beginnings, New Opportunities, Letting Go and Moving On, which is just that. It's a free ebook. We can talk about it later, but it's a free ebook to help people understand what's involved with letting go and moving on. Because a lot of people just cannot let go. They hang on to so many things that are messing up their environment, messing up their emotions, messing up their lives. And it'd be so much better to let go and move on.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I love that. Small steps that build momentum without overwhelm.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And what when we think about it, I mean, um, I go into many not now, but I have friends, their apartments, they're just so full of stuff, and each of these items has an emotional load. And if you've got a closet full of clothes you don't wear anymore, those are reminding you of the time you could wear them. So you're hanging on to bad memories, hanging on to the anchors, hanging on to things that drag you down. Whereas when we get rid of them, get them to a thrift shop so somebody else can use them, you're freeing up some space to create some new memories, some happy memories. When we moved about 3 years ago, we didn't know what to do with our belongings because we had a 3 bedroom house, 1,800 square foot house. We're moving to 1,000 square foot apartment. What do we do with all the things? So we wound up selling it online, and there was an auction service we used, and people bid on it. The successful bidders came on the appointed day to get it. And we were thinking, that's not going to be a very fun day when we give away our when we give away our prized belongings, the plants we've nurtured from seeds or grandma's tables or something like that. But it was an amazing experience because the people that came to get them were really excited about what they were getting, really excited about this full grown plant, or really excited about the table, or really excited about the china. And we realized, wait a minute, we're not getting rid of things. We are rehoming these items. These items have joy and pleasure with them. So instead of us hanging on to it, we are giving these items to other people. So we are rehoming the possessions we love so much. And so many people left just so happy with their new whatever they got. And we were so happy to be free of it. So the whole letting go thing is there's so much to it, and yet so many of us just kind of hang on to things that if they were valuable at one point in time, they're not so valuable anymore. Behind me, you can see a china cabinet, there's glass shining on a cabinet there, and there's things in there that we've pared back and pared back and pared back. And our family was over a week ago for dinner, and we were talking about it. And our daughters both said, we don't want that. Like we love it. It's great things, but we have enough of our own. Don't give it to us. We would get rid of it when you go. So it's the idea of we don't need as much stuff as we think we do. And life is so much easier when we have less stuff to worry about. Obviously, you hit a hot spot for me. I love the idea of letting go.
Absolutely. So many people struggle to even know where they want to go. How do you guide someone who feels stuck or unclear on their direction?
That's a good question. I think what happens is that a lot of us are doing things because we think we should, or because we think our parents think we should, or society thinks we should. It's taken a long time, but it's all about what are you passionate about? What do you love doing? It's interesting because I did a LinkedIn article this morning that dealt with passion and purpose. And the secret is to find out what you're passionate about and then build that into a purpose. A little story here. When I was 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know, just a little guy. I wanted to be a garbage man. I really wanted to be a garbage man in a weird way. And I don't know why, but I wanted to be a garbage man. And my family tells the story of one day that I went into the kitchen garbage and collected kitchen garbage and deposited it all around the house. Well, I kind of had it backwards. garbage men pick up, they don't deliver. But anyway, that was kind of a funny story. And then when I heard the concept of what do you love doing or what did you want to do, I thought, yeah, there it is. Okay, I was a garbage man, but I was bringing order out of chaos. I was making things tidy. I was organizing. I was cleaning up. I was letting go. So that's what I love to do. And in my career as a lawyer, as a coach, as a consultant, and all those other things I've done, I've helped other people clean up their messes. Maybe not physical, but clean up their emotional messes or clean up their business messes, that kind of thing. So I use that as an example. As a kid, I loved to clean up and organize. Well, later on in my career, my job, my work involved cleaning up and organizing and planning. So it starts with what do you love doing? What do you absolutely love doing? And again, think of what you want to do as a kid. And then the next thing is how can we turn that into a passion? How can we turn what we love doing into a passion? So once that's there, the next part of it is just we'll go for 10 years. The next part of it is just taking action to make it happen. So instead of just dreaming about what you want to do, you say, okay, I want to be a lawyer. So let's take some action to become a lawyer. It's getting educated. It's learning what we have to do. It's developing the mindset. It's developing the social skills. So we're taking the action to achieve our result. But it starts with passion. It really starts with what we're passionate about and building from there. I think a lot of people focus on what they want without realizing, or they focus on what they think they want without realizing, I'm not really good at that. I don't even like that, but do it anyway. When I was in graduating from high school, guidance counselor suggested that I go into accounting. Well, I hated accounting. I just absolutely hated playing with numbers, but I was doing it because he thought it was a good idea for me. So now I'm thinking, nah, that's not going to work for me. I don't think I'm going to do that. So it's a case of starting with the passion and then starting to build after that. And that's covered in both in the free book and the course. But it's not. You certainly need to know where you want to go, but it starts from your passion, and then other factors kick in. The law of attraction kicks in once you've got the passion.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So, do you believe clarity comes from thinking or from action?
Oh, from acting. Oh, I definitely from acting. I do affirmations every day, and one of them is things become clearer and easier as I take action, and that's so true. That is so true. When we think about something, we can overthink it. We can think a small problem into a ginormous problem, but when we take action, it's wow, that wasn't all that bad. Invariably, so it's inspired action. And even if you make a mistake, well, that's one less. That's one less thing you have to worry about. Well, we can learn from our mistakes. So again, a lot of people and people close to me do this, that they overthink things. They turn non-issues into mega issues. And that they become so overwhelming they can't even grab a hold of it. So action is so much better than thinking, and not just any action, and not everything. I mean, if process has 20 steps, well, you can't possibly do the 20 steps at the same time. One at a time, do one thing. And so even if it's a list of 1,000 things, you got to do one thing and one thing and then one thing and then one thing and one thing. Things become clearer and easier as we take action.
That insight flips the script. Like sometimes we need to move first and think later.
Oh, absolutely. It, it in many respects, a wrong decision is better than no decision, because a wrong decision says, okay, so that didn't work. Let's try something that will. Or if I do the same thing but change this, at least you're doing something. But if you still, if we're stuck pondering or thinking or worrying about what we're going to do, it just creates the momentum that holds us back. Momentum goes two ways. Momentum keeps us going, and momentum can also keep us stuck. And when we overthink things and just don't take action, we get stuck for a long time. And I know a number of people who spend most of their time thinking about problems they had as kids, and that's why they're not succeeding as adults. Well, no, not really. That may be a part, but part of it is that you haven't really done anything. You got to, as I say, a mistake is better than nothing because it gives us a starting point.
Hmm. So, You have published over 30 books and courses. What's one lesson you keep coming back to, no matter the topic?
One lesson I keep coming back to, well, it's interesting. It would be take action. Just take action. Yeah, I know it's funny because a number of people, when they hear I'm a writer, they say, "Oh, I've always thought of writing," and I'm saying, "Well, what have you done about it?" "Oh, I'm thinking about it." "Well, no, no, write. Start writing." "Oh, yeah, but a book is so big." "Well, you write the first page, write the first paragraph, write the first sentence." So one of the things I've learned in is that when I do have an idea about something I want to write, I will start. And if after half a page it looks really bad, and well, okay, I won't go any further on this. This is garbage. I'm not going to write garbage. But I've considered it and I've gotten rid of it rather than let have this maybe niggle away. Um, Again, people don't start writing because they think, oh, I can't write 1,000 pages. Well, try writing 10 words, and then just 10 words and 10 words and 10 words. And then they think, oh, I couldn't get the book published. Well, don't even go there. Maybe you don't want to publish it. Maybe you want to turn it into an audio tape or something. Who knows? But if why do you want to write? Just starting to write gets us into the process. And it's like that right across the board. There's when there are things I don't want to do, like income tax, I force myself to take the first step, and the first step is gathering all the paper together. And once the next paper's together, I started the process, and then it's taking it to the tax preparation people, and on and on and on. So taking that one step to get it going. And again, when we overthink things, we don't quite get around to taking one step.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So, how has that lesson shown up in your life recently?
Oh, um, good question. Good question. Um, yeah, I've got a couple of things I want to do. I'm at the stage right now that I'm working on what I call my legacy project, which is, I think I referred to that earlier. I'm trying to pull lessons out of my life experience. I have no intention of retiring. I don't know what retirement means. So many things I want to do. One of the things I want to do, I love pottery. I really love pottery. And I'm thinking it might be fun now that I have more time to just make something, make a pottery dish, make a clay dish or something. So instead of just playing around with it, I said, okay, let's do something. So I made a list of places in the area where I can go to take lessons and actually do it. I may not do it for another year or whatever, but I've taken the steps on it to get to plant it. I planted the seeds and now I'm going to let it grow. Whereas if I just sat around and thought, well, maybe when I stop writing and stop doing podcasts, maybe I will do some pottery. And so I just, and I wasn't really forcing it. It was just part of the way I do things. I made it a point of finding out where I can go to learn to make pottery. And now I know what I want to do. So it's now it's an idea that's planted in my brain, and I've taken the action. So I go, okay, yeah, I have an idea where I can go. I have an idea what I can do, and I'm starting to get an idea of what I want to create and what I want it to look like. So I'm starting to do that, and it's not a noble characteristic on my part. It's just something I've learned along the way. Stop talking and start doing. And even if it's a one small step, it's doing it. It's starting the process.
It's a timeless truth, one that feels even more relevant in today's fast changing world.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's so easy. It's so easy to allow ourselves to be distracted. It's so easy to allow ourselves to come up with excuses for one reason or another. I'm doing a doing a 28-day meditation program, just because I thought it was interesting. And one of the first things that the one of the first lessons was to put the phones away when you go to bed. Like, do not go on a screen for an hour and a half before you go to bed, and don't have the phone. Don't even have the phone in your bedroom. And I've been doing it for a week now, and it's amazing. I'm sleeping. I've never had trouble sleeping, but sleeping is it's my sleeping is so sound and so relaxed. And I realized, okay, now now I'm not. Well, before I did that, I'd have a thought. in the middle of the night or something. So I reach for my phone and do a search to find something out. So I'd be distracting my brain from the task of sleeping. So now that I'm not doing that, I wake up more refreshed. So yeah, showing up, and it's a combination of showing up and taking action rather than saying, well, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll get around to that sometime. So it just, as you say, it's showing up and being there and yeah, it's interesting because I know other people who have their phones beside their bed, and they're like last thing at night they're reading the news or something, and first thing in the morning they're reading the news. Man, I can't think of a way of getting more depressed faster than reading the news before you go to bed first thing in the morning. It just I can't. Oh, that's the real downer. Especially here in Canada with the president of the United States doing what he's doing down there.
Mhm. Right. So, for someone listening right now, feeling overwhelmed by the gap between their present and their goals, what's the very first step you'd recommend?
Um, go to my website and grab the free copy of New Beginnings, New Opportunities. It's a tangible step. It's a free book. You don't have to give me your email address or anything. Just download it and read the first chapter. Um, there's nothing in it for me. I mean, it's free. It's out there. People may as well use it, and hopefully that will lead to some kind of action. It's a neat book. It's a book that I wrote during the pandemic, and after I guess last fall, I thought, hey, this is really good, but why don't I upgrade it and give it away? So that's what it's there. So yeah, that's available on the website. So the first step would be to grab the free book.
That's amazing. So, Larry, thank you for sharing such actionable wisdom and reminding us that transformation is a process of empowered choices. Listeners, if you're ready to take that first step towards your own next chapter, check out Larry's free ebook, New Beginnings and New Opportunities, and explore his work. This is inner peace, better health, because growth starts with the courage to begin. So until next time, keep moving forward.